Hello guys, it's Eglow here. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. You're welcome to this tutorial. So if you are used to this channel, you already know what we do here. Basically, we help people improve their images when it comes to retouching, improve their photography knowledge generally when it comes to lighting, background manipulation and all of that, right? So, and if you're just coming into the channel for the very first time, please do well to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, share this video so that others can also benefit from the knowledge, and as well turn on the notification button so that you can be the first person to be notified anytime I post valuable content like this, right? So I welcome you all to another episode of background manipulation. So in this video, basically, we are going to learn how to change the background of a photo of an image in Photoshop. You understand how to, transform your boring background. You understand, whether you take the picture outside or you take it in the studio, basically studio images. You understand, in the studio, you don't have that that liberty, that almost time to really play with things, right? So most times we just basically use backdrops, either paper or canvas, to just create something, right? So we are very limited. So in the studio, you don't really have that chance to actually go extra mile, right? So most times we just basically use paper or canvas background, right? So, and most times some of these studio pictures are boring. You understand? So they are boring, like the world is tired of the usual, so they want something unusual, right? So yeah, that's what we do basically on this channel. So we help people see things that they could not see, right? Transform their images from basic to pro, right? From usual to unusual. You understand? From just ordinary to extraordinary, right? So in this video, I'm going to take you through how I transform the background of this image you are seeing on the screen. You understand? This is how the image was shot, right? If you look at it, basically, it is not that the image is bad, right? So the image is okay, but you agree with me that after transforming the background, the after is far better than the before. You understand? So most times when you take a picture, I feel like, oh, this is perfect, this is okay, but trust me, the moment you're able to do something extraordinary, that is when you know that, oh, so this image can be this good, can be this great. You understand? So that is what this video is all about. In this video, right, I am going to take my time to teach you on how to transform that your boring background image into something extraordinary, into something spectacular. You understand? So into something captivating. You understand? So if you look at this image on the screen now, this is after I transform the background of the image. Okay, let me show you. See the image. This is how the image was shot. You understand? Not that the image is bad, right? This is how it was shot, and this is after I transform the background. You understand? So I'm going to take you through the journey of how I started the whole process, and some of the tools I use, some of the props that I used, right? Now if you look at them, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I use these 4 different props to transform the background. This, right? So I got them from Pinterest. If you are interested and you want them, let me know in the comment section and I'll make them available for you. You understand, right? So without any further ado, let's move the picture and the props to Photoshop, right? So right click and open with, then Photoshop. So guys, we are here in Photoshop now. So now we need to take this step by step, right? So it is very important that you watch this video from beginning till the end. Don't skip any part, because the different segments of this tutorial are interconnected, right? If you miss a part, it's very difficult. You may find it difficult to get or understand another part. You understand? So now we have our image in Photoshop now. So we're going to look at what is it that needs to be done. What is that we need to do to the image before we go ahead. Right now, the most important thing, right, when transforming background or manipulating background or changing background, the most important thing is to make sure that those things that makes the default background real, that those things are still there, right? And one of them is shadow. So if you look at their legs now, let me show you the floor. If you look at their legs now the bride's heel is having a shadow, which is very good, right? It's having a shadow here. Look at the man. The man's shoe. There's no shadow here. it's just this back, right? So it's looking like from this part that the man is floating. So we're going to go ahead. The first thing first is to go ahead and create a shadow for this leg. You understand? So you just go ahead and create shadow for this shoe, right? So I'm not just going to show you how to manipulate, how to change, the background of a photo, of an image in Photoshop. I'm also going to show you how to change your background color using blend mode option. You understand? So first thing first is to select the part of this shoe. First thing first is to select the part of this shoe that we want to, reflect. Shadow is a reflection of something, right? Of an object or subject. You understand? So now just pick my lasso tool, just select it from here, select it from here, right? All right, good. So now selected it from here, right? So now we're going to create two layers. You understand? We're going to create two layers for this. Command J from the keyboard, try 1, 2, right? So after creating two layers like this, so come to the first layer and drag it down a little bit. Still drag it down a little bit. Drag it down a little bit. Yeah, so drag it down a little bit. Okay, so this is fine. Now come to come to filter, then go to blur from blur, Gaussian blur. So from Gaussian blur now bring it down a little bit, blur it to a point where, yeah, where the shadow will be a bit, okay, blur it till you are good to go, right? So let's say 45, right? Let's say 45. This is before, after, before, after. Yes, you can see, right? So okay it. Now you can still adjust it, right? You can still adjust it till you are good to go. You understand? So this is before, after, before, after. So I think we are good to go now. We are good to go now. So all right, so now create another layer. Shift Alt Command E from your keyboard if you are using Mac, but if you are using Windows, it's going to be Shift Alt Control E. Please take note. For Mac now, because I'm using Mac, so I'm going to press Shift Alt Command E from the keyboard to create a separate layer. All right, so after creating a separate layer, the next thing to do is to separate the subject from the background. You understand? Because now we want to manipulate the background, we want to change the background, you understand, of the image. So we need to separate the subject from the background. So I'll just click on my selection tool, and click on select subject. So Photoshop is selecting the subject now. All right, so you can see it's not selecting the subject. Now the Photoshop was not able to select the subject 100% perfect, you understand. Of course, so Photoshop won't be able to do that for you, understand. So you just have to manually do the remaining ones yourself, right? You just go ahead and select the areas that are not selected properly and deselect the areas that are selected and are not supposed to be selected, you understand. So take your time, because if you did not get the selection right, trust me, you're not going to get it done 100%, you understand. So make sure you pay attention to details and select every part that needs to be selected properly, you understand. And as a matter of fact, I think this is the most complex part of background manipulation, changing of background of an image, you understand, in Photoshop. This is the complex part. So after this now, the rest is just going to be a bit easy or easier than this, you understand. So make sure you watch this video from beginning till the end. And if you watch this video to this very moment, I appreciate you. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you are here to do so. And also turn on the notification button so that you can be the first person to be notified anytime I post valuable content like this. So make sure you share this video so that others can also learn from the knowledge. So let's select it carefully. I'm selecting the nails now. very, very important, right? So this part as well. So you really need to pay attention, like keen attention to details. It's very important. All right. Yeah, making progress. Just take your time. Don't rush. You understand? Do a proper selection. It's very important. Yeah, basically, I think we are almost there. Yeah, basically, I think we are done selecting the image now, right? All right, so the next thing is to right click and feather it, right, so that the edges of the image won't be that sharp by the time we bring in our external background. So we just feather it to like three, yeah, that's fine. So now we are going to Command J to separate the background from the subject, right? Command J from the keyboard, and we are using Window Control J. Command J from the keyboard. So let me show you. Let me show you now. Now you can see that the selection is perfect. Now we can go ahead now and do the manipulation proper. You understand? You can see the selection. The selection is so perfect, trust me. You can see. Like now they'll be separated from the background, right? So we just go ahead and bring our prop. So now click on this layer 2, right? You have layer 3. Click on this layer 2, then come to and go to your props, the one that you want to use for the background manipulation. So this is the first one I want to use. Just like I said, we have up to 4 props that we'll be using to manipulate this background, right? To change this background. So we'll be using this one first, right? So this is like a beach frame, right? But we're going to get rid of this frame and just use the view, just the view alone. You understand? So now we need to remove this frame, and to remove it, just come to pick my remove to. This is it. Remove to, right? So just trace it. These two works magic. Just watch and see how it will remove this frame without stress. So just make sure that your selection is okay. Like you're tracing, trace the object well. Yeah, boom. So you just leave it. Photoshop will remove the object from the frame now. So Photoshop is removing the object from the frame now. That's the frame object, right? Boom, guys, this is so perfect. This is so perfect. So we're also going to get rid of this shadow, right? I'm just going to pick my patch tool. Just select it, then right click and fill. Boom, guys, we are good to go, right? We are good to go. So we're moving this background now to our picture, right? So Command A and Command C. A is to select, C is to copy. So Command A, Now it has been selected. Now Command C. If we are using window, it is Control A and Control C, right? So we are here now. Then Command V or Control V to drop the background, right? So drop the background and extend it till it fills the frame, right? Now, okay. So now if you look at it now, just like I said, that I'm not just going to show you how to change your background, how to manipulate your background, or how to change the background of a photo of an image, right? I'm going to show you how to also change the background color, right, using blend mode option. You understand? Because if you look at it now, the background is totally different from, you know, the whole view, right? The dress and everything. Nothing, it doesn't blend together. So we're going to use blend mode option, right, to blend everything together. You understand? So okay it and come to blend mode option, right? So start checking from normal down to, you know, down to luminosity till you get the right one for your picture. All right, so let's go. Now this is dissolve, this is darken, this is multiply. Multiply is not bad, you understand. Now we're getting the feel that we want. This is multiply, this is color bond, no. Linear, no. No, this is screen, this is color dodge, linear dodge, no. Overlay, okay, this is overlay. The overlay is not bad, right? But I think the saturation is kind of too much. So this is soft light, this is hard light, this is vivid, linear light, pin light, hard mix, difference, exclusion, subtract, divide, hue, saturation, color, and luminosity. You understand? So now I think I prefer the hard light. This is soft light and this is hard light, right? So I think I'm going with the hard light. So just click on the hard light, right? So now we're going to reduce the opacity a little bit. So reduce the opacity to like let's say 50. Let's say 50, right? Now if you look at it, let me show you their feet, right? So their feet is not really showing where the way I want it, right? Because it's still looking like the groom is floating, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to create a layer mask on the background. I'm going to create a layer mask, on the background, right? So pick my brush tool, right? So change my foreground to black, then the opacity 40, 30, I mean flow 40, right? That's fine. So I'll just brush through it, right? You can see this is before, after. Now you can see that the shadow, right? The shadow is coming out properly. Now if you look at the bride's shoe, look at the stud, the shadow is perfectly there. You understand? So now this is the first thing first to do. You understand? This is the first thing first to do. So we're going to bring the next background now, the next props now to be added to the background. So let's look for the next one that we'll be using. So this is the next we'll be using, right? So we're going to use this as a Sunray. You understand? As a Sunray, right? Now Command A and Command C, copy, right? So we are here now. Now the reason why we are going to use it as a Sunray is this, because you really need to pay attention to details. So during the shoot, right? So a headlight was used. You understand? Look at it, headlight. You can see the effect on her hair. You understand? So we are going to have a Sunray here that will truly show that, oh, there seems to be a sun reflection on their head. Just drop down this thing here. So increase it till it fills this thing. Yeah. increase it, increase it, increase it. So take your time and do a great job, right? And still increase it. So yeah, this is good. Now okay it. So now let's check the blend mode option. Check the blend mode option. So I think multiply is good. Yeah. So just go with multiply, right? Just add it. Right. So this is looking great already. So I'm just going to go ahead and reduce the opacity a little bit because it's looking kind of too obvious, right? We just want it to be like a sun ray, like as it is, right? Just a little reflection. So I just reduce it a little bit to like 30. Wow, this is good, right? So this is good. So now we're going to bring another background that will be another prop that we'll be using, right? So we'll be using this is going next, but before we take this there, so we need to get rid of this image here, right? So I'll just pick my remove tool and just trace the image, right? And boom, Photoshop will help us get rid of the image before we maybe move it there, right? This is good. All right, so select copy and let's go. So now drop it. Yeah, make sure it fits into the image proper. So the goal of this one, the reason why we are bringing in this one is to add this structure, this building structure. You understand? So we're just going to fade it in a little bit, right? So okay it, come to blend mode option and just select multiply is good, but let me check others. Let me check overlay. This is overlay. It's looking kind of too obvious. Let me check hard light. This is hard light, also the same linear. Okay, I think I'll still go with multiply, right? So now, so I'll just go ahead and reduce the opacity. Just reduce the opacity to like let's say 20. Yeah, you can see this is before, after, before, after. Right, so I'll just create a layer mask here, pick my brush, and just get rid of this part. Sorry, brush 2. Yeah. All right, so yeah, you're making progress, a huge one progress. So this is before, after, before, after. You understand? So we'll just go ahead and bring the next one, probably the last one, right? So we're going to use this sun, right? This sun is going to, we're going to fit it into that sun ray, that circle of sun ray that truly shows that, oh, it was actually a sun ray. That really shows that, oh, it's actually a sun ray, right? So select copy, then paste. You understand? Drop it. So we just need to reduce the opacity first so that we can fit it in. So take your time and do it very, very well. Yeah, we're almost there. almost there. Yes, so this is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah, good. So now I'm going to create a layer mask. Before then, let me check the design first. Take blend mode option. Okay, I think I love overlay. So after overlay, I've overlaid it now. So I'm going to create a layer mask. Right, create a layer mask. Then pick my brush tool and change everything to 100. Right, change everything to 100. So what I will be doing basically is to get rid of this part. You understand? Get rid of those parts. So I'm going to show you the before. This is before, after, before, after. So to get rid of this part. Get rid of this part. Yeah, this is good. Before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Now you can see that the sun is really coming from here and it's really hitting her head, right? So we're still going to add this one. So we're going to add this one. So we're still going to add this one. We're going to add it to that sun, right? This part. So we take it there again. Take it there again. Yeah. So you just bring it up here. Just gonna be up here. Then reduce the opacity a little bit so that we know where it will be. So change the blend mode option. Okay, we have to OK it first. So change the blend mode option. Let's check overlay. Between overlay and black and multiply, which one, guys? Okay, I think overlay is good. Right, overlay is good. So now I'm going to reduce the opacity like I just need something very, very minimal. Right. So this is before, after, before, after. So I'm going to create a layer mask here and just pick my brush and just get rid of this part. You can see the part, right? You can see. So now this is before, after, before, after. So I'll just open it. Let's say 15, a little bit. 15. This is before, after, before, after, before, after. All right, guys. This is so perfect. This is so perfect. All right. Now this is it. This is it. This is it. This is great, right? This is great. So the next thing to do first, because if you look at the image now, the saturation of the background is looking kind of too obvious. Like the saturation is much. So, and it is not just about the saturation, it's also about the distraction, right? Because now we want the focus to be on the subject and not on the background. So we are going to reduce the saturation of the background. And to do that, we're going to create a separate layer, more like a background layer. And to do that, from your keyboard, Shift Alt Command E if you're using Mac there. But if you're using Windows, it's going to be Shift Alt Control E, right? So we are good to go now. So after that, we are going to duplicate this background. You understand? We're going to duplicate this background. Duplicate it. The original background is layer 9. The duplicated one is layer 9 copy, right? So come to filter. Come to camera raw filter, right? Camera raw filter. So we are here in camera raw now, guys. We are here in camera raw now. So to come here and click on background, we're going to select the background, right? Which is just the background that we want to work on. Fine. So the background has been selected. You understand? The background has been selected. So now we just come and reduce the temperature and the saturation. You understand? So let's reduce the temperature first. All right, so just going to reduce it a little bit. Yes, this is fine. Right, this is fine. Now, look at, this is saturation. This is see. I just want to show you what saturation does. So it increase and decrease the color, right? So just bring down the saturation, like let's say 5, let's say -5, right? So this is before after. Guys, you can see the huge difference is created on the background. This is looking more real, you understand, than before. Now before was looking kind of like everything is just there. It was, everything was just looking too saturated, right? So but look at the after now. You understand? Look at the after now. The after now is okay. So another thing we are going to do now is we are going to like bring more concentration on the subject. You understand? So, and to do that, we're going to use we are going to add a little bit of vignette to the image so that the whole attention can be on the subject. You understand? Let the background not be too distracting, right? And to do that, we're going to use a radial gradient. So come to create new mask. So radial gradient, just click it, right? So, and just draw it a little bit to a point where you can set that can circle the subject. You understand? So draw it very well. You understand? So now, since it is not the subject that we actually want to work on, but it is the background, because we want to like add the vignette to the background, not to the subject. Because when we add the vignette to the background, it is going to make the image more pop, right? It's going to like less concentration on the background and more concentration on the image. So, and to do that, we're going to invert it. See, come here, invert the selected area of this mask component. So we're going to invert it and like inverting it to the background. So you can see now it has been selected. So we just come down and just play with the basic adjustment like the exposure, highlight, contrast, shadow, white and blacks, right? So I'll just bring down the exposure to like -10. Yeah, -10. This is good. So I'll just add a little bit of black, like let's say -3. So now the shadow, so I'll just reduce the shadow a little bit. Let's say -4, right? So I'm also going to reduce the highlight a little bit. Let's say -10. Yes, let's say -10. Yes. So now this is before, after, before, after. Guys, this is sweet. This is very, very sweet. You understand? This is very, very sweet. So now let's go back to Photoshop now. Okay, we are going back to Photoshop now. Guys, you can see this is before, after, before, after. You can see the dynamism, the realness created, added to the image. You understand? So the saturation, just like I said before, we move it to camera off it. The saturation was smudged, right? So everything is just like the same subject, right? With the purpose in the image. So there was no contrast, there was no dynamism, right? So and now we've added that dynamism that the image needed. You can see. So the sunset, the beach, and everything. So this is how to transform your boring image. You understand? From ordinary to extraordinary, from basic to pro. So this is how to transform your background. This is how to change the background of a photo, of an image, and this is how to change your background color also using blend mode option in Photoshop. You understand? I think we are good, right? So let me just group everything and show you the before and after. Select all the layers and command G from the keyboard if you're using Mac, and if you're using Windows, Control G, right? So this is before, guys. This is the before of the image, and this is the after. If you need all these props that are used to transform this image, let me know in the comment section. Trust me, I'm going to make them available for you to get them. You understand? So now what we are going to do now next, I just want to increase the size of the image a little bit. You understand? So, and to do that, I'm going to create another layer. So I'll just pick my crop tool. And just add a little bit of you know, understand. Yes, add a little bit. So let it be on content aware and click OK. So widen the size of the image. Guys, this is it. This is it. This is so perfect for me. Trust me. This is so perfect for me. This is so accurate. Guys, you can see. This is how to transform your background in Photoshop. This is how to change the background of an image of a photo in Photoshop. This is how to change the background color in Photoshop using blend mode option. Now, if you look at it now, you will see that it is now less attention on the background and more attention on the image. You understand? Guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. If there's anything you want me to talk about in my next video about background manipulation, retouching, color grading, lightning, feel free to drop that in the comment section, and trust me, I am going to attend to that as soon as possible. You understand? Let me know how you feel, what you think about the video. You understand? So, and let me know if you're going to try this on that your boring image, turn it to something crispy, something captivating like this, right? So just like I said earlier, the world is tired of ordinary. The world needs something extraordinary. So if you're a photographer, an editor, a retoucher, you need to like think outside the box, right? You need to be creative. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video to this very moment. Please, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you are yet to share this video, please go ahead and share this video. Turn on the notification button so that you can be notified anytime I post valuable content like this. I'm also going to attach the presets that I use for my editing. Preset for light skin person, I'm going to attach it to this video. If you need it, follow the link and get the preset. You understand? I'm also going to attach the link to where you can get this props to this image, right? So if you need it, follow the link and get the props. It is free of charge. You're not going to pay a dime for the props. You understand, right? So let me know in the comment section what you would want me to talk about in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.